Охотник, это сказки.
Каждой сказки есть правда.
Who's next?
My son is an animal stronger than you can imagine. Tell me about this hunter.
When Kraven the Hunter 2025 hits theaters, it marks another bold and gritty chapter in Sony's growing Spider-Man universe. The film steps into darker, more primal territory than any of its predecessors, diving into the story of one of Marvel's most complex and ferocious anti-heroes. At the heart of it all is Sergei Kravinoff, a man whose life has been driven by a relentless obsession with proving himself as the world's greatest hunter. Unlike other characters in this cinematic universe who are motivated by power, revenge, or redemption, Kraven's mission is primal. He seeks to conquer not the world, but the wild within himself. His story unfolds in a brutal world where the line between predator and prey blurs, and where morality is tested by survival instinct. The movie stars Aaron Taylor Johnson in the titular role, embodying the raw intensity and animalistic charisma that define Kraven. His physical transformation and performance bring a sense of danger and emotional complexity to the character, presenting a man torn between his violent instincts and his fading humanity. Alongside him, the film features a compelling ensemble that adds layers of intrigue and conflict to Kraven's world. Russell Crowe takes on the role of Kraven's father, shaping the hunter's destiny through a harsh upbringing rooted in strength, discipline, and cruelty. Ariana DeBose brings life to Calypso, a mysterious and powerful figure connected to Kraven, both romantically and mystically. Their chemistry adds an unpredictable energy to the film, weaving themes of love, obsession, and fate into its core. Fred Hechinger also joins as Dmitry Smerdyakov, better known to comic fans as the Chameleon Kraven's half-brother and master of disguise, adding a layer of betrayal and manipulation that further complicates Kraven's journey. The film explores the making of a monster through the lens of family, tradition, and survival. Set against sprawling landscapes and harsh wilderness, it delves deep into Kraven's upbringing, his father's influence, and the events that turn him from a gifted hunter into a morally conflicted predator. The tone is gritty, violent, and emotionally charged, showing not just the physical hunt, but the psychological battle that defines Kraven's existence. He is not a villain in the traditional sense. Rather, he's a man shaped by pain, discipline, and an almost spiritual relationship with nature. The movie presents his transformation as both tragic and empowering, building a narrative that reflects on humanity's relationship with the natural world and the cost of domination. From the very first glimpse of its trailer, Kraven the Hunter established itself as one of the most visceral and violent entries in Sony's lineup. The footage revealed a grounded and intense approach to storytelling, showcasing Kraven's brutal methods, his encounters with wild beasts, and the formative experiences that lead him down his blood-soaked path. The action sequences are visceral, filled with raw energy, practical stunts, and physical performances that emphasize Kraven's animalistic style of combat. Unlike other superpowered characters, Kraven relies on agility, instinct, and sheer force of will, which gives every fight scene a sense of grounded realism. The cinematography captures both the beauty and brutality of nature-wide sweeping shots of untamed wilderness, contrasted with close-up moments of emotional tension. The movie's world-building extends beyond Kraven himself, connecting subtly to the larger Spider-Man universe while maintaining a standalone identity. There are hints and undertones that suggest the presence of other key figures from the Spider-Man mythos, but the focus remains firmly on Kraven's personal story. The tone and atmosphere align more closely with darker Marvel adaptations, emphasizing moral complexity over spectacle. It explores questions of power, instinct, and legacy, asking whether a man defined by violence can ever escape it. The film avoids turning Kraven into a one-dimensional villain, instead portraying him as a tragic figure driven by both love and vengeance. Director J.C. Chandor brings a grounded yet stylish approach to the film, balancing raw emotion with explosive action. Known for his character-driven narratives, Chandor focuses heavily on Kraven's internal struggle and emotional transformation. Every frame is designed to reflect the character's duality, his reverence for nature, and his capacity for destruction. The production design reinforces this contrast, blending modern cityscapes with primal landscapes that mirror Kraven's divided soul. The costume design, particularly Kraven's iconic fur-lined outfit, pays homage to his comic book roots, while adapting them for a more realistic cinematic tone. The result is a visual and emotional experience that captures the mythic essence of the character while keeping the story grounded in human emotion. The narrative structure unfolds as both an origin story and a psychological thriller. Kraven's journey begins in his youth, shaped by a father who sees the world as a hierarchy of predators and prey. His early life, filled with harsh lessons and survival challenges, instills in him a philosophy of dominance through strength. As he grows, his hunting skills evolve from sport to obsession, leading him to test the limits of his own humanity. The story also introduces the mystical side of Kraven's legend, hinting at ancient rituals and connections to the natural world that heighten his senses and physical prowess. These elements give the movie a mythological undertone, blending realism with subtle supernatural hints that enhance Kraven's mystique. As the film progresses, Kraven's internal conflict deepens. He becomes caught between his father's ideology and his own emerging sense of morality. Encounters with Calypso challenge his perception of power, offering glimpses of compassion and vulnerability that contrast with his brutal nature. Meanwhile, his brother's deceit and betrayal push him further into darkness, setting the stage for a confrontation that tests the boundaries of family loyalty. Every relationship in the film carries emotional weight, grounding the action in personal stakes rather than global ones. This focus on character-driven storytelling gives Kraven the Hunter a distinct emotional edge within the superhero genre. The action choreography in the film is raw and primal, emphasizing Kraven's ferocity and intelligence as a hunter. Unlike other comic book heroes who rely on advanced technology or superhuman powers, Kraven's abilities stem from his mastery of nature and his own physical perfection. His fights are fast, brutal, and instinctive, using the environment to his advantage. The film's violence is not stylized for spectacle, but portrayed with unflinching realism, underlining the cost of Kraven's path. Each confrontation reveals something new about his psyche, his anger, his guilt, his relentless drive to prove himself. Visually, the film adopts a rich and earthy color palette, evoking the tone of wilderness and primal energy. The cinematography uses natural light to highlight textures, whether it's the glint of a blade, the flicker of a campfire, or the gleam in Kraven's eyes as he stalks his prey. The score complements this mood with tribal rhythms, haunting strings, and atmospheric tones that enhance the tension and drama. The sound design itself becomes a storytelling tool, blending animal calls, heartbeats, and the sounds of the hunt into the film's rhythm. As the story builds toward its climax, Kraven's hunt turns inward. The final act becomes less about hunting others and more about confronting his own nature. He faces choices that question whether redemption is possible for someone defined by violence. The ending leaves viewers reflecting on whether Kraven is a hero, a villain, or something entirely different, a force of nature beyond moral labels. His journey is not about saving the world, but understanding his place in it. And in doing so, the movie delivers one of the most introspective and emotionally charged character studies in modern comic book cinema. The film's release stands as a pivotal moment for Sony's Marvel Universe, potentially setting the tone for future crossovers and darker standalone projects. It explores themes of legacy, instinct, and the fine line between humanity and savagery, making it more than just another origin story. Through its unflinching portrayal of a man caught between civilization and wilderness, Kraven the Hunter carves out a unique identity in the ever-expanding world of superhero films. It's a tale of blood, family, and destiny of a hunter who learns that the most dangerous prey of all might be himself.